What if AI isn't here to take the opportunity away, but to completely change what it means to create one? Artificial intelligence is transforming the way we work, build businesses, make decisions, and compete. And why some people are afraid of being replaced, others are learning how to use AI to become faster, more productive, and more valuable. I guess today, Bradley Aman, is an entrepreneur, author, business strategist, and founder of the American Dream book series. Brad has spent decades building companies from the ground up. He became a millionaire by the age of 40 and eventually sold his primary business after growing it into a national leader in his industry. Brad's message is very, very simple. AI doesn't have to replace ambitious people. It can amplify what they are capable of, but only if they are willing to learn and adapt. His latest book, American Dream, Success in an AI World, explores how artificial intelligence can be useful as a practical tool to increase productivity, create opportunity, and help people remain competitive as technology continues to evolve. Today, we are talking about AI, entrepreneurship, productivity, wealth creation, adapting to technological change, and whether the American dream still exists in an AI driven world. Brad, welcome to the show.
Darlington, thank you very much for having me. I'm excited to be here, and I'm excited to speak to you and to your listeners.
Okay, thank you so much, Brad, and I hope you enjoyed that introduction.
Yes, I enjoyed it very much. Thank you.
Okay, so you have spent decades building businesses and eventually became a millionaire by 40, right?
That's correct.
So tell us, what did that journey teach you about what it actually takes to create success?
Well, let me say this. I am an entrepreneur, an author, and a businessman, and I built a nationally owned commercial fire safety company, which I sold in 2023. Since that sale, I focused much of my time on writing, speaking about something I believed in my entire life, which is the American dream and how ordinary people can create extraordinary opportunities for themselves. The American dream isn't a place, it's a mindset. It's the belief that through hard work, learning, resilience, opportunity, anyone can build a better life, regardless of where they're born. Uh, I'm the author of the American Dream book series. Thank you for pointing that out. I have 3 books that are all on Amazon at this time. A lot of my work today focuses on the American dream, on what it looks like in an age of artificial intelligence, particularly how people can adapt, protect their livelihoods, and take advantage of the opportunities that AI is creating. If you're okay with it, Darlington, I'd like to just dive in quickly to some of my past, a little early work, a little bit about how I became an entrepreneur and what happened in my early life that provided the impetus for me to do that.
Yeah, sure, go on.
I grew up in a very poor family, and when I turned 10, in an effort to help us afford food, I literally sold packs of juicy fruit gum door to door in my neighborhood. I would buy them at the store for 5 cents, sell them for 10 cents, 100% profit. I learned early that nobody owed me success. If I wanted more, I had to create it. Those door steps became my office. The rejections became my motivation. Chewing gum flavors became my inventory. And expanding to new neighborhoods, became my marketing strategy. I graduated from high school at 17. Not sure of what I wanted to do, so I joined the United States Air Force at 17. I was too young to sign myself in, so my parents were required to sign me in. And while I was in the Air Force, I watched pilots, all officers, struggle to achieve rank. In the Air Force, if you didn't attain a certain rank, you were ejected from the Air Force or asked to leave or whatever, but you couldn't stay on as an officer. So you always had to achieve. And so I spent a lot of time with the officers and I learned discipline. I learned accountability. I learned teamwork. I learned leadership. I learned goal setting. You know, one of the things that I learned when I got out of the Air Force and began my sales career was that you have to learn from people. When you're with your customers, you have to ask the questions. What's not going right for you? What do you need? What problems are you experiencing? What can I do to support you? And that's how you find opportunity. And I got to tell you, as an entrepreneur, that's the key. You have to look for opportunity in every interaction you have with customers, people in general. Okay, you have to look for that opportunity. Early in my sales career, I sold food products to restaurants and mass feeders, and part of my job was to solve their problems. They came to me and told me, "Hey, I'm having a problem with this particular thing." And one of the things I constantly heard was that there was a real problem with finding supplies within this fire safety industry with commercial kitchens and also mass feeding kitchens. I discovered that if they didn't have the backup parts, if something happened, they literally went down and were unable to perform, unable to make money, etc. And so that being said, um, I started a company was servicing those commercial kitchens. I started it with one restaurant. By the time I was done 20 years later, I was a national company, the largest in my segment. And along the way, I got into a couple of other companies. Would you be interested in hearing about those?
Yes, Brad, go on.
So in that fire safety business, um, one of the things that we did is we protected restaurants, mass feeders, commercial kitchens from the potential of having fire. And one of the things that I did, as I did in all my businesses, is I listened to my customers. I reviewed every year, annually with them about products or things that they needed, looking for things that I could provide, so I could give a bigger share of the customer. And uh, after a couple of years, the one thing that kept coming to me was that they were unable to find operating parts for their hood systems themselves, whether it be filters, whether it be fire extinguishers, whether it be various other items. And so I needed to find some way to make it easy for them to be able to purchase those products. Initially, I thought, well, I'll bring them in, I'll stock them, um, I'll I'll deliver them to them when the customer needs them. I'll bill the customer. I'll wait 30 days to be paid. In the meantime, the people I'm buying the product from aren't giving me 30-day terms, and I have to pay them right away. So you're completely upside down on the model. And then, uh, so what I did is I started an internet company before Google even kicked in. And the power of Google eventually kicked in and really provided a platform for us. But nonetheless, I started out with that internet company and I'd tell my customers, here, go here. If you need these products, like you say you do, this is where you're going to get them. They'll get shipped directly to you. And it started out mainly the customers I had in the geographic area I was in at the time purchased them. But then the power of Google clicked in. And next thing I knew, we're selling them in every state in the United States. We're selling them to military bases all over the world. We're uh, we're selling them to uh, distributors in Pakistan, South Korea, Saudi Arabia. It was massive. And that came about simply because we listened to what our customers wanted. And eventually we sold that company to a larger company that was more capable of taking it to its absolute largest potential. So I guess my comment to your entrepreneurs out there, to your listeners, is if you want to be successful as an entrepreneur, what you have to do is listen. Listen to your customers, look for problems, and then solve those problems. That is how you are going to be able to scale your business and certainly enjoy the success of that. So that's how I did it. And I can't tell you there's no secret formula. It's just show up every day, have a plan, lots of hard work, be prepared to fail because you will, and be resilient. Keep coming up to the batter's box, keep looking to hit, and it will happen for you. So I sold the company, started traveling. I ran into people that we were very disillusioned about the American dream, and it started to bother me because I was a product of the American dream. Everything I did was because opportunity was available and I looked for ways to prosper from it. And so as I listened to people, and they were really concerned, American dream was dead. Only the elites had the ability to do it. And then next thing I know, a couple of years later, I'm hearing AI is going to, bury us. There's going to be no jobs available, on and on. And that's when I decided to start writing a book. And my first book was totally about the American dream. It didn't have a lot of AI in it. Then, as that continued to be an issue, my last two books were a combination of both American dream and a combination of AI. And so, with that, if you're interested, I can certainly begin the process of walking you through AI, how currently people are using AI to become entrepreneurs, to succeeding, to being prepared, those that are transitioning and moving forward and preparing for this AI society. Would you like me to walk you through any of that?
All right, walk us through that.
Well, this AI era will have winners and losers. More than ever before in this AI area, there will be people that benefit from it, and there will be people who it will be to their detriment. People that adapt first, learn basic AI first, and people that decide to take control of their future will prosper immensely. There will be more millionaires made from the middle class through AI than at any time in the past 100 years. And when I say there's going to be winners and losers, it's all about who is ready to pivot toward AI, use AI, because it's just like when computers came in, many years ago. The people that embraced that are now the leaders of our country. So I'll give you an example. There's a story that I use to help people understand what they have to do in this era. Okay, be quick. It's a good story, and I'll try to tell you really quick. But two hikers are walking up a mountain, and they're 2/3 of the way up, and they just met each other on that mountain, so they weren't close friends, but they were 2/3 the way up, and one of the hikers looks down and he sees a large grizzly bear 500, 600 yards away on the trail. And the bear stands up and raises his nose to the wind, and they know now that that bear smells them. and the bear starts trotting up the trail. And one hiker looks to the other and says, "Hey, what are we going to do? This bear's coming straight up. It's coming at us. He's going to eat us. What are we going to do?" The other hiker sits down, opens up his backpack, takes off his boots, straps on a couple of tennis shoes, puts his backpack on, and he looks at the guy and he goes, "Hey, listen, that bear is coming up here. He is going to chase us, but guess what? I don't have to outrun that bear. I just got to outrun you." So that's the example of winners and losers. We have people, the bear is AI. The person that put his tennis shoes on and running are the people that are adapting, pivoting, using AI as the future, because that's exactly what it's going to be. Now, AI isn't going to take every job. All right. There are going to be people who survive AI, but there's going to be a lot who will be, if they don't pivot, if they don't learn it, if they don't use it. In my books, I have numerous examples, 90-day plan to become reasonably proficient in AI, a 777-day plan that would make you unstoppable in this AI era. So, key message: AI isn't coming, it's already here. The biggest risk isn't the robots that you read about. The biggest risk is the software. The biggest risk is having your head in the ground, in the sand, thinking that this too shall pass. You're reading articles that say, well, now they say it's not going to be as robust as they thought it was going to be. Trust me, it's here and it's coming. So, what I like to talk about, most people that talk to me say, "Hey, Brad, so what jobs are at risk most? You know, who's going to be impacted in the next 18 to 24 months? I got to know, am I in that area? Am I in that problem? Am I going to be impacted?" So I'll just go through quickly I'll give you the top 10 most impacted jobs. Do you think your listeners would like that?
All right, Brad. Thank you so
Okay.
much. So, what mistakes are people making when they are trying to use AI for business and productivity?
Well, I think the biggest mistake that's being made, first of all, anyone who's using AI right now, they're already miles ahead of anyone else. Okay. There are so many people that believe AI is, not going to be a problem, that they literally are putting their head in the sand. I have a section in my book that's called, you know, uh, why are people's head in the sand? And truthfully, they just don't think it's going to happen. They think they're apathetic, which is really a human trait and part of human nature. But those people who are studying it, let's say, give you an example. You're a middle manager at a data center. Or let's just do better than that. A middle manager at a call center. You have 300 people on the floor answering reservations, answering calls, doing all kinds of inbound calls, some outbound calls, and they're working for multiple corporations handling that for them. All right. And over time, you start to see fewer and fewer employees. You see people that have either quit or been fired, but their positions aren't being filled. And all of a sudden, the call center's now half full. And now you're getting new software that has upgrades, handling a lot of the stuff that you used to handle is now being handled by that. And you see fewer managers, you see fewer new hires. Most people would look at that and go like, man, I'm going to read the tea leaves here and it's time for me to do something. Well, the people that saw that and then began to dive in, they started taking training on, you don't have to be a software engineer. You have to understand AI. You have to understand providing direction for AI. You have to understand how how it's using the information that's available to produce results, limit people, and the areas that are most vulnerable for them are people interaction. They have very limited abilities to. They don't understand emotions. They don't understand problems. They don't understand anything that is touching the customer and not just a robotic function. AI struggles with and will for a while. And so the people that recognize that and work within that company to be involved in the AI transitions that are going on, they'll survive. They'll do well as it starts to be fewer and fewer people. They'll take the leadership positions that handle all the robust calls that are about problems that have to be kicked up to a real person that AI can't handle. I mean, that's just one example of people who understand AI and they're doing things at their job in order to protect their future.
Okay. Thank you so much, Brad. So, if someone listening right now is worried that AI is going to take their job, what is the first thing they should do this week?
Well, if there's someone out there that most likely, if they fear it, it's in fact happening because they fear it because something's going on in their organization that tells them that that's happening. I believe the first thing they should do is evaluate what's happening with their current employer. What areas are being consolidated, and where can you move within that company to prevent you being one of the first layers that are going to be left off? The second thing you need to do is you need to educate yourself on AI. You need to take training. You need to understand how it works, what benefit it provides for your particular industry, and where it's going to need real people. And then the next thing, anytime there's an opportunity for you to move within your company for what appears to be data AI consolidation, where they're looking for people who understand it, can do the work. The other thing is the more you understand it, the harder you work, the more you spend time learning AI. Um, those are the people within the organization are going to call on your fellow workers. Next thing you know, everybody's going to be coming to you because you understand AI, and you understand AI because you embraced it and you spent time in courses, learned it, and you didn't fear it, but you used it as a way to get ahead.
Okay. So, if you could go back to the beginning of your entrepreneurial journey, knowing what you know today, what would you do differently?
Is the question what I would do differently if I knew what I know today?
Yes, Brad.
Well, you know what, Darlington, that's a great question. That is a great question. You know, of course, almost everything that I did, I retired at 63. Um, I did with what was available at the time. But I will say this, not so much as an AI issue, but as an entrepreneur. Um, really, the key is being prepared to take risk. I don't care whether you're going to leave your current job because you see AI encroaching and you're going to go back to school to learn another process that works well with AI that's going to be a long term, like, some form of uh, electrical uh, manufacturing, AI monitoring, data security, anything that is going to have anything that also touches people. For example, in the healthcare industry, uh, people like nurses, people like doctor assistants, some people like Uh, anyone that works with the actual consumer, the actual patient, will do bad. Anybody that's in medical billing, anything involves standing in front of a computer and doing the work, those jobs will be gone. But for me, it's hard to say. AI is fairly new, and if I was coming out today, what I would do is I'd learn every aspect of AI. I would go to school and I would learn everything possible. And then I would also become an entrepreneur much quicker. It took me 15 years to become an entrepreneur. Knowing what I know today, I'd do it tomorrow. And I would be, I would be even more successful than I am today.
All right. So, Brad, finally, what is your message to someone who believes the American dream is dead and that technology has made success impossible for ordinary people?
Well, first of all, as I said in the beginning, um, the American dream doesn't matter where you live, doesn't matter where you were born, doesn't matter the color of your skin. The American dream is about realizing that you have every opportunity to be successful. You have to take the first step. You must be prepared. You must look for opportunity. You must look for areas of change, and you must find solutions to the problems. And once you do that, you need to step forward and uh, provide those solutions to the customers. For that, you'll be independent, you'll be wealthy, and you will control your own destiny and the destiny of your family. Every generation faces a defining moment. My father's generation faced the Great Depression and World War II. My generation witnessed the birth of the internet. Your generation will be defined by artificial intelligence. The good news is AI isn't the end of the American dream, it's the next chapter. And those who embrace it will create opportunities that previous generations never could have imagined. So the American dream is still alive, and it speaks a new language, and that language is AI.
All right, Brad, thank you so much. This has been very, very exciting so far. So, for those who want to connect with you and learn more about what you do, how can they do that?
If someone wants to reach out, best way for them to do that is to go to my website. There you'll find find multiple blogs that really define what you can do, how you go about using your skill, your determination to succeed in this difficult but certainly available AI era. And that website is www.americadream.com. Let me repeat that. It's www.youramerica.dream.com. You can purchase the books. You can get training from my blog. You'll have better opportunity to see what we're all about.
All right, thank you so much, Brad. This has been a wonderful episode. I really enjoy having you on the show talking about AI. And I know a lot of people who have lost their jobs to AI. And I truly believe, to me, our ability to use AI will be more valuable because there are still a lot of things that AI can do, but AI will require a human to be able to make sure they are doing it perfectly well. And those who can use AI to make their work easier will be the ones who will retain their jobs. So once again, I really appreciate you for coming. And to my audience, I love you guys so much. If this episode is speaking to you, make sure to share it with someone out there who needs to hear this. I will see you guys on the next episode. Bye, guys. Thank you, Brad.
Thank you, Darlington.
All right. Have a wonderful day.
Yep, you too. Thank you.